Yo, I just wanted to, come on here and have a chat. Cause, I'm not feeling like the best today. I've just had a really stressful week, really stressful few months actually, where I've had a lot happening. It feels like things haven't stopped happening, and it's not like I've had a death in the family or anything like that, but I've just been like so hyper focused for a while. And eventually, while you're hyper focused for too long, you're gonna hit a wall. And that's my specialty. I perform, burnout. And a lot of people say that balance is the key, right? Balance is the key, but that balance is a great way to sustain. But when you're trying to get ahead, when you're trying to raise to that next level, it's said that you need to perform. And that's what I try to do. It's not a healthy way to do it, and apparently it's going to take years off my life. But all I want to do is work, right? All I want to do is get ahead. I've conditioned myself. I've trained myself. I've adapted to when faced with bad situations or, my environment isn't ideal, especially my living arrangement environment. When that's the case, I switch into hyperdrive and all I do is work to get out of that situation. I don't try and escape that situation using drugs or any other form of escapism. When I say escape, I literally upend my life and get out of that situation, and that's my only focus. And at this point, it's the first time in my life since I can remember where I'm fully content with my situation. With that being said, I still only want to get ahead. It is what I've now conditioned myself to be. I am this now. All I do is try and get ahead. There is no balance. But there's also the results have been yielded through this mindset. And it's hard to put that mindset down once you've adopted it, because you do see how many fruits you bear from constantly working. And as far as burning out goes, I'm good at it, I know how to act when I burn out. I know how not to react when I burn out. Literally, I'll work really hard for, let's say, 3 months. I'll get heaps of shit done and I will work non-stop, constantly. And then I'll burn out and I'll hit the wall. And then I'll be like, I burn out real good. I'll be bedridden for 4 days. Unless I've got somewhere to be, obviously, I still, I honor the things that I have to do. But if it's left to me and my devices, I literally just lay down for 3 days, 4 days, watch movies, series, whatever. But yeah, I've burnt out this time after I've moved houses twice, actually. Moved houses in December, moved houses in January, moved houses just recently, last month. And and then I had the festival, I've had songs, and then I've had work, and all of these things can create a stressful environment, especially up here. You know, if you're spreading yourself too thin, like I like to do, that's when the stress can seep in, and things can seem like a lot. But yeah, all in all, while I'm going through these stresses and while I'm not feeling great, it's still important to honor myself. Just because I don't feel like doing the things that I need to do, I gotta show myself respect for who I am and how far I've come, and continue to be who I need to be, and continue to show up for myself. And that requires a lot of inner reflection, especially in the moment, because I don't want to act out while I'm feeling grumpy or while I'm stressed. No one else deserves me to put on them how I feel, you know. And when you're burnt out, you're very agitated, you're very tired. I don't know if you can tell, I've got like bags under my eyes. I've been sleeping fine. And I'm not sick. I don't have the flu or nothing. So yeah, I just got to make sure that during this period that I'm honoring myself and I'm respecting myself enough to still do the things that I need to do. I just don't have to do more than I need to do, like I usually do. See, what the average person will do in a week, I'll do in 2 days. That's what I do. I just get shit done. I hyper-focus. I have my coffee and I get it done. I fucking sink my teeth into whatever I've got in front of me. That's how I've been able to do what I've done over the last 2 years by myself. No team, no industry connections, no nothing. It's because I'm a bit of a psycho when it comes down to it. I've lived most of my life in survival mode. So when it comes to being in a chapter of my life where I don't need to fight to survive, I'm still like in that heightened awareness state, and I got to pour that energy into the right place. Otherwise, I'll probably go crazy. I don't want to do that. I'd rather become successful than become crazy. And those two are very fucking close. They are cousins, being crazy and being successful, because you have to be crazy to become successful, or at least to a point, you know, to a degree. Who in their right mind wants to substitute fun for hard work? That's why not everyone gets ahead. That's why most people just settle. They're not crazy enough to think that they can create the life that they want through doing what they love. There's no linear path to follow to do that, especially in my career. All us musicians are fucking mad, for sure. And yeah, look, I gotta be mad, because all I want to do is help myself and help others in the process. That's it. That's my calling. It's what I was put here to do. While I help myself, spread the knowledge and wisdom I have attained, share the source, and put people on game. And for them to know that it's not going to be easy, but it's far from impossible to do whatever you're trying to do. This whole fucking life we've got, you could call it, you could go as far as to say it's like a video game where you're the main protagonist, and whatever it is that you decide to do, you can do. That's putting it in layman's terms, but this life is like, I swear this life is magic, man. Like the fact that, you know, our souls having this experience on earth with these animated corpses that we can control, and being able to manifest literally anything it is that we want to a degree. Things that are in, you know, things that are inside the compounds of reality. But what is reality? All right, we're getting deep. Reality is whatever you want it to be. And that's where it comes back to, while I'm not feeling great and while I'm not feeling high on energy, and, you know, I still woke up this morning, I still went for a walk with my little boy Ralph. I still went to the gym. I trained legs, because that's the one I hate to train. And obviously, you know, hey, no comments about fucking skipping leg day, all right? Yes, I did. You happy? So, yeah, that comes back to respecting myself and my time and who I am and who I'm trying to become. Even if I'm not feeling good, I still get out there and I get it. You know, I might take a knee for a day, but on that day, I will still do what I need to do. I just won't go extra above and beyond. It's still so important to do what you need to do on the days you don't feel like doing them. And the way I talk, who I am and my mindset, that's come from studying people that I've wanted to become. People that are in situations or living the life that I want to be living. I've studied them. I've heard how they talk, how they think, how they feel. And I've adopted that. People aren't willing to do that. You know, what's that? What's that thing? It's like, you're perfect exactly the way you are. Lies. Fucking lies. Were your parents perfect? Are you perfect? Do you have the perfect life? Do you have money problems? Like, you're perfect the way you are? Are you unhealthy? Are you fat? You know what I'm saying? Is your mental health in check? Not a lot of people can say, you know, not a lot of people can say that they're not suffering in any of those areas. But do you do something about it? That's the main question. I got people I know that are happy being unhealthy, that are happy not being mentally sound. I know people, man. I know people, and I've been surrounded by certain types of people all my life. And it's along the way, somewhere down the line, I realized who I didn't want to be and who I did want to be. And who I did want to be wasn't who I was. So I had to make those changes. I had to take myself away from those people I didn't want to be like anymore. I had to limit the amount of time and energy I gave to people in areas that weren't serving me anymore. It's a hard thing to do. But again, it comes back to self-respect. What I owe myself, and to honor myself, and to respect myself. I need to do the uncomfortable things. It's like you wouldn't treat somebody that you love in the way that you treat yourself. So what's that saying? A lot of people just don't have that self-respect. They resort to drugs knowing it's bad for them, knowing that it'll fuck them up. Do it anyway. Inhibit their future, inhibit themselves. You know? See, I was waiting for the right time to record a video like this. And I woke up, I've had a really stressful, last few days. I'm a disability support worker, and I just went through some real wild shit with one of my clients. And I didn't have to be there for my client. I stayed there way longer than I was supposed to, just to be that extra level of support, because I was put here to serve. And it wasn't my responsibility to do what I did, but I did it anyway. I didn't have to be there. I didn't have to be that extra level of support for somebody, but was I? Did I have other things to do? Did they need me though? They did. They did, and I wasn't selfish in the moment. I served. And I absorbed a lot of negative energy because I was in that situation. And it's these things, when you're in these like toxic environments and when you're soaking up all that stress and negative energy and being that emotional support person for someone, it's very tiring. It's very tiring, and it has its toll on you, let alone them. Even you just being there to support, it takes a toll on you. So yeah, I had a very, very intense last few days, and I feel like shit. But as I said, I wanted to wait to do one of these videos until it was the perfect time. And I figured this is the perfect time, while I feel like shit, while I'm a human being, while I'm not in this high vibration, heightened awareness state of abundance mindset. No, I'm feeling humble. I'm feeling very humble. Humble and grateful. Low energy, frustrated, humble, and grateful. Self-respect. Doing the things that you don't want to do because you owe it to yourself to do it for you. We can all win. You've just got to be willing to do the uncomfortable things. A lot of people aren't willing to do the uncomfortable things. I find comfort in the uncomfort. Comfort in the discomfort. That's better. Anyway, I'm going to start doing these videos a lot more often. Doesn't matter if people aren't watching them. People might follow me for my music. People might follow me for whatever reason. But I'm going to do this because I want to give back. And I want to do that in more ways than just releasing music. I was put here to help and inspire people. So I'm going to do that. Whether this reaches one person, whether this reaches 100 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, doesn't bother me. As long as they have access to this kind of stuff. And one thing that I said throughout this entire rant might help them make a positive adjustment in their life. Anyways, much love, guys. Take care of yourself. Respect yourself. Peace.